I want to talk about with the addition of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and the attention that they've been getting is mostly positive, but then there's some negative attention when it comes to, the play against Caitlin Clark where she's pushed in the back. And just, there's been multiple plays where she's faced the bad side of some physicality. What is your take on where the WNBA is from a narrative standpoint of where it's going?
I think the WNBA narrative right now is Caitlin Clark, and I think that's a good narrative, but it's also not the only narrative. But that's the narrative we're pushing in the media. Caitlin is an amazing generational talent, and she's going to do amazing things. But she also has to go through that first rookie year, and that sucks. Like, rookie years, you're the number one pick. People are going to go after you, whether it's for the right or wrong reasons, but people are going to go after you because they see greatness in you. And what the WNBA is measuring one type of greatness against the other greatness. So am I saying it's right that she's being pushed in the back? No, that's foul. That has no space in the sport, and we all know that. But when I'm watching ESPN and the only highlight you can see is how hard she gets screened, I think it takes away from the actual point of basketball.
The game, right?
Like, yeah, you will have hard screens. Like, when I was setting screens, guards were running through me, and I fell down trying to set a screen. And that is not being shown on TV. Like, we can't be too soft now. But, of course, like, her and Angel Reese and even people like Rickea Jackson, like, people don't even talk about Rickea. Like, she was not being shown a lot at the WNBA draft. It was only Caitlin. And I think that's a problem about our narrative right now, that we're not using the wave of women's basketball and women's empowerment that Caitlin brings and really, really amplified in an open eye to support all the women, but to kind of keep that lens still small on the things that matter, but it's not the only thing. If the public eye would have been on Stewie, like, winning 4 championships, like, no shade, but Caitlin didn't win.
Right.
Stewie won 4 times in a row, and if it would have had the same attention, we would have been further. But people like Stewie were having interviews saying, hey, why don't you show the NCAA tournament on TV? Like, we didn't even have games on TV. So I think year by year, we all have to fight together to pave the way for the future generation. And this generation right now, they're really profiting of what people like Candace Parker did, even Asia, like the women before them. And I think it's just great now to see that she's someone that gets $1 million Nike deal. Like, that's amazing. This is what we want. And we're happy about that. And now we have to look at our whole collective, like, hey, why can't it be more women that gain generational wealth of the game of basketball? So I think we just all need to be a little bit also, I think this is a race thing here that's going on in America. And people are really just making everything so much more than what it actually is, which is basketball and the development of women's basketball. Like, this is amazing. So I'm happy about all the new fans. I'm happy about it. This is cool.
Getting a lot of attention.
A lot of attention.
It's going to be interesting to see how, like, the other WNBA players, and I'm sure even for you, like, in the sense of, like you mentioned, being political, it's going to be interesting to see how WNBA players talk about her. Because at the same time, people don't, yes, you want to, say other people laid the foundation and whatnot, but you also don't want people to think that you are hating. You know what I mean?
In the end of it all, we're all competitors, and, like, I'm not her teammate, it's also annoying. Obviously, it's annoying when you're being asked about her in an interview when you didn't even play her. So that's just like, why are we talking about her? Why are you not talking about Asia getting her new shoe? Like, why are you not talking about Stewie, getting her own signature? Like, there's just so much more to the WNBA than Caitlin. But Caitlin is the face right now, and that's also good. Like, she's selling out gyms, of course. Like, why would you hate against that? We had a sold-out home opener. Like, I think it was a practice game. Like, it wasn't even serious. And it was sold out. Like, we benefited from that because now we have all our fans there, and they're excited, and you have new people coming into a market. she is her own economy, and that is amazing. And she's being paid her worth.
Mm-hmm.
And now we need to get other women on board to get paid their worth, because she's the reflection of what should happen in women's sports.
Mm-hmm.
I dig it.
Yeah, I love that. And you just think of the growth behind her, right? When you have Paige come into the league, when you have
Juju
come into the
I'm
league.
a fan.
Yeah, like you just think of the
right
growth
Yeah.
Yeah,
of
man.
where the
Good.
W will be in a couple years from now. I mean, it's wonderful. You know, it's wonderful.
Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with over 5 million active users. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become part of the Prize Picks community today.
With Prize Picks, you can turn $10 into $1,000 in a single game watching your favorite sports this summer. You can make a Prize Pick lineup in as little as 60 seconds. You just need to pick more or less 2 to 6 players, stat projections, and you're locked in. Just like that.
There's always action on Prize Picks, and this is the perfect time to try out something new as basketball is winding down. Make sure to try out esports this month, because every Wednesday and Saturday in June, if your lineup doesn't win, you'll get your entry fee back. Choose from Counter-Strike 2, Call of Duty, League of Legends, and more.
Download the app today and use code PODCASTP for a first deposit matchup to $100. I repeat, download the app today and use code PODCASTP for a first deposit matchup to $100. Pick more, pick less. Dallas, it's that easy, right?
And what do we say, Jackie?
Cha-ching!